If the opinions were confined just to the commentary or to the ad breaks, that would be one thing. But Sinclair can sometimes dictate the content of your local newscast as well. And in contrast to Fox News, a clearly conservative outlet where you basically know what you're getting, with Sinclair, they are injecting Fox-worthy content into the mouths of your local news anchors. The two people who you know and who you trust and whose on-screen chemistry can usually best be described as two people. And the thing is, you may not realise it's happening, because Sinclair and its digital news subsidiary Circa not only produce and send packages to their stations, they even write scripts that local anchors can use to introduce the pieces. For example, just this Tuesday night, anchors at Sinclair stations all over the country introduce a story about Michael Flynn like this.
Did the FBI have a personal vendetta in pursuing the Russia investigation of President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn?
Did the FBI have a personal vendetta in pursuing the Russia investigation of President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn?
Did the FBI have a personal vendetta
in pursuing the Russia investigation of
President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn?
Did the FBI have a personal vendetta in pursuing the investigation?
It could very well be true.
Watch the news regularly?
No.
So where do you get your source of information?
Snapchat.
Snapchat. And you believe everything that Snapchat tells you?
Most of the time.
So give me an example of what you don't believe.
Some of their stuff is kind of opinion-based, so sometimes I don't believe that.
So do you think that your news stations, your local news stations like Chris 6, their news isn't opinionated?
Yes.
Yes it is, or yes it isn't?
Yes, it is.
So what do you think about the coverage that Snapchat gives you? Do you think it's better than your local news station?
No.
You don't think it's better?
No.
Why?
Because, well, I mean, they're kind of the same, because Snapchat gets it from the news.
So why do you choose to obtain your news information from Snapchat instead of your local media?
Because it's more popular than the news.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
The news is more old school, like a lot more old school, I think, than Snapchat.
So you think that young people like yourself would rather look at the news on Snapchat than their local news station because it's more fit with their time?
Yes, it's like more summarized, and that's about it. It's just more summarized, and it's not as boring, I guess you could say.
So you find your local news station boring?
Yes.
Watch the news regularly?
Yes.
What station do you watch?
KIII.
What do you think about the coverage that KIII provides you?
I think it's pretty decent.
Do you believe the information that they provide you?
Sometimes.
Can you give me an example of when you don't?
I think that they could elaborate more on some of the news stories that they do when there's crime going on.
So do you find the information that you obtain from KIII similar to other local news stations in your area?
Yes, I think that they do the same, that they all try to do the same coverage.
Why do you think that is?
So that they all make sure that they tell you the same story so that you believe what's going on.
And the story that they say, is it exactly the same, or there's some discrepancies?
No, they seem to all say the same thing because I've checked them to make sure that they all tell you the same story.
So where else do you find your information?
I usually watch it on the on their Facebook page.
Do you think the coverage that they provide on Facebook is the same as the coverage that they provide on your TV?
Yes.
So Malcolm X has a famous quote. It says, "The media's the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent. And that's power because it controls the minds of the masses." What are your thoughts on that quote?
think it's probably true because people believe what they see on TV and on the news, even if it's not the truth. If the news says it's true, then it's automatically true.
Can you give me an example of that?
Politics. True. Because we can't prove that it's not true because we're not there.
So in politics, you think that most people are getting their source of information from the news?
Yes.
And that's how they make their voting decision?
Yes.
Take a look at this statistical snapshot of the media ecology that largely determines what you and I see, read, and hear. In 1983, 50 corporations controlled a majority of media in America. In 1990, the number had dropped to 23. In 1997, 10, and today, 6. There you have it, the fistful of multinational conglomerates that own the majority of media in America. What do we call it when a few firms dominate the market? Oligopoly. Doesn't quite rhyme with democracy.